Hi everybody and welcome to our year prep setup. In this video, we are going to be going over our yearly review, year prep, goal setting, and reflections. I am using my computer to use this journal on the app GoodNotes, but you can follow along on your iPad because it is much easier because you can actually use your Apple Pencil to shade in. But I will be just showing you screen mirroring my computer. So if your side looks a little bit different, just know it's because I am using GoodNotes on a Mac. But like I said, I recommend you to use it on your iPad. You can also type on it, so if that's your thing, you can totally do that. If you have questions on how to download your product, that is in another video. But in this video, we're going to talk about setting up your year. Now, I don't want to do too many cuts in this video. I want to keep it casual. I have my little coffee here, and I kind of want to walk you through what it looks like to review your year. Right now, we are in November. December is a great time to do this. But if you're sometime in January, February, or even sometime along the year, you can always do this because the point of this is to be reflective, to set goals, and you cannot fix something that you don't acknowledge. So I have been doing year preps, I believe, since 2018, and they have impacted my life because I am held accountable to what I have been putting in my goals, what I'm reflecting on. My word of the year has been just such a thing that moves me towards my goals, and I will kind of walk you all through my process, how I choose my word of the year. Now, before you open this, I recommend you, like I said, this is not something to rush with. This is something that you get to enjoy. So grab your little cozy drink, play some instrumentals in the background, and most importantly, ask God for wisdom. We are reflecting, we are casting vision, we are praying for things, and we cannot do anything separated from Him. That's what His word says, and I strongly believe that. So it's like, Holy Spirit, we invite you to this place. Like, help me plan, help me reflect, help me show grace to myself, and know that like whatever season that you're in might be a different season that I am in, but I believe that God can make us all diligent and just give us His mind when it comes to future plans and going over the past year. So pray, invite the Holy Spirit, and let's get started in this year prep. So I want to start off by showing you the links. So when you tap on your cover, it's going to open it up. You have your year prep, your goal setting, reflections, year in review. And this little fun circle takes you back to your cover. And you have a section over here in the bottom where you kind of get to write your theme of the year. I already wrote mine in, live slowly. You cannot know what your theme is until we go through the whole setup. So kind of put a pause on that and let that be your last step. My word of the year is slowly, and we'll talk more about that later. But I already kind of started playing with this. I'm not 100% done with my year prep because I like to take it in parts and take it slow. I kind of did some pages to kind of give you examples, but like I said, I plan to really go deep, disconnect, and just go all in with my year prep. So let's go ahead and open it. The first part is our yearly review section. Now, I did a little mock-up here. Some of it is real, some of it is not, just because, like I said, I get deep into this with being transparent and being honest of where I am in life. So here what you have is you have a wheel, and you have from numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. And you get to rate these areas of your life, and you get to decide, being reflective, what rating you would give yourself. So we have health and wellness, spiritual, family and friends, primary relationship, serving and giving, finances, work, and fun. Now, if one of these doesn't work for you, what you can do is grab your pen tool on your iPad and grab like a thickish pen, and you can actually like white that out and either type in or put in your own category. Now, these categories work for us, but if there's something missing, something you want to take off, something you don't want to rate, feel free to do this. Remember, this is yours and it is for your benefit. So what I did here, I gave myself a 7 in health and wellness, spiritual 8, family and friends 6. And then this section over here is the why. Why did you rate yourself that? Be reflective, be honest, be transparent. I rated myself a 7 because I've prioritized my health by daily body movement. I feel like I would go a little bit deeper as into like why also the 7. Primary relationship, or let's go spiritual, my delight is in my relationship with God. I prioritize that over everything. I gave myself an 8 because I prioritize my relationship with God above everything. I have my daily quiet times. I feel like I'm always just in sync with Him because I am living a surrendered life to Him. Now, it's not perfect. Obviously, I'm not an angel, but I gave myself an 8. There's always just that room to grow. And that's kind of my thought process. So kind of go in here and break this apart. Why do you rate it the way that you rate it? When it comes, I'll give an example, like finances. I gave myself a 6, and I need finance meetings where we meet at least once a month and go over what came in, what went out, or where are we investing our money? How much are we giving? There's also like that part of giving here. So you can kind of write in your whys next to this page. Now, let's go ahead and go to the next page. I really like this page. I didn't fill it in because, like I said, I want to be very reflective. What worked last year? What brought you joy? Very simple. This also kind of ties into the glows. Right now, we'll talk about it. The glows, you can either use this sheet or you can even break it apart like I did here. You don't have to fill in every sheet. There are similar sheets depending on your style of jotting things down. So like I said, what worked last year is basically your glows. You can copy and paste them, choose to do one or the other, but the point is for you to acknowledge and reflect what worked last year so that you could like capitalize for it for the following year. So some things that I would have put what worked last year is rising before the sun, having our weekly marriage meeting, having our weekly family dinner, stuff like that. What brought you joy? Don't try to go crazy here. What brought me joy? Like if you want to go, I went on vacation, but try to zone into the little things. Like one of the things that I kept seeing in my gratitude journal this year is visiting my niece. Like she lives down the street, and one of the things that brought me the most joy is just walking down the street in my PJs to go visit her. So go ahead and jot down there what brought you joy. And then here for your favorite memories and gratitude moments, you can definitely bring in pictures. You can do that here with this little icon right here. And if you have your Photos app, you can grab them straight from your Photos app, or anywhere you have them in your computer, you can kind of just drag them in. Let's go to the next one. Now we have what didn't work last year, what brought you stress, and what are you not bringing into the new year? Idea, thoughts, bad habits, etc. So eating extreme junk food is one of the things that I'm trying to eliminate from my life, because this year I did go more whole foods, but then every other weekend or weekends in general, eating a lot of junk food, that's one of the things I don't want to bring into the new year. And sleeping late. And obviously there's way more, but go ahead and review what didn't work last year. What brought you stress? Maybe it brought you stress where you work, your friendships, maybe your home clutter brought you stress. Like, what brought you stress. I can't think that for you, but go ahead and jot that down there. Then we have our accomplishments. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I wrote that. I didn't know. I'm not going to erase it. I forgot. It's because I was doing it like half, and then I was like, okay, half is like I'm doing this for the video. But yes, a personal accomplishment is I got a colonoscopy. I guess that is a good thing because I am prioritizing my health. I opened up to my parents about some wounds that I had. I was just, okay, anyways, I did not plan to share this part, but it's fine. Some professional wins, accomplishments. I launched some physical products. Maybe you got a promotion. Maybe you got employee of the year, of the month, of the week. I don't know what that is for you, but go ahead and celebrate your accomplishments. I'm not done here, obviously. Like I fill these like to the bottom. Sometimes I like break things apart and I do like, okay, I'm going to do this one page in the morning and then I'm going to do another page in the evening. Like you could take it slow also. I've done that in the past years. Now, your grows and your glows. This is where you summarize grows, and you'll see that all throughout our planners. Our grows are areas of improvement, and your glows are just accomplishments, things that you did great at. So you can either copy and paste what you've already written and kind of have it in a one sheet, or you can choose to not use this page, and if it overwhelms you, you could just trash it, right? I like to keep it because I do see this grows and glows all over my planner, and I like to just have a one pager. What worked, what didn't. areas of improvement, things that went really well. And it could be big, like I got a promotion, or it could be something so small, like I started an evening routine. I took care of my skin. I showered every day. That's a glow, you know? I don't know. You can kind of write what works for you. And then here we have our part of our year review. Also, remember, we're still reviewing. We're still kind of going back. We're not prepping yet. Things that stopped you last year. What were some challenges? So I wrote here comparison, people pleasing, other people's opinions, distractions. And then after you fill out things that stopped you this year, you can then go to your, what did you learn because of that? Or what are you applying? So it's like, don't look at what others are doing. Ask God for my mission and my purpose. There was a lot of comparison this year of like, oh, she's doing that, maybe I should be doing that. And I know that stopped me, because just because somebody else is doing something doesn't mean that that's what I'm called to. So I'm kind of like learning from it and bringing that lesson into the new year, because in reality, I know that comparison is probably something that I'm going to struggle with for the rest of my life, because I'm human. But I plan for it to be lower and say, you know what? I don't have to compare myself because I know who I am. Little things like that. So go ahead and do that for the yearly review. Then here I added this, people I'm grateful for and why. This is kind of like a little brain dump. You can add pictures or you can add just their names. I love this section because God created us to be relational. You know, I used to isolate myself, like I don't need anybody, and it was coming out of rejection because I didn't want to be rejected anymore. So then I would just pretend that I didn't know people. Sorry, I'm itchy here. I would pretend I didn't need people, but it's like, no, like God has placed intentional people in my life that I'm grateful for, friends that have shown up out of nowhere, even when I thought I'll never have a friend. Everybody's going to let me down. Those are lies. If you're believing that, that's a lie. I want you to know that God built us for community, for friendships, for family, for deep connections. So it is so special to be grateful for the people that are in your life. And you might think like, oh, comparing yourself, like she has a better best friend than me, but like, look at who God has placed in your life. Why are you grateful for them? Go ahead and write that down here. I'm going to do photos here. Maybe when I'm done with everything, I'll share mine in my Instagram. Maybe not everything because, you know, some stuff is private, but I'm excited just to see all of this filled out. And that sums up our yearly review. If I can sum up everything, it would probably be the grows and the glows. This is just like the summary. What worked, what didn't. It's actually backwards. Okay, now we are in our year prep. So this is where we're actually now setting up the year. So let's go ahead and go here. So the first step is to find our word of the year. I can literally tell you all my words of the year since 2018. I believe that I believe my first word of the year was serve. Like God was just like, I want you to serve people. I want you to be there for people. The next one was obedience. I've had present. I've had authentic. This year was diligent. And I already have my word of the year for next year. It is slow. So this part right here, like I said, requires a lot of prayer and asking God, would you show me what you want me to focus on this year? Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to work on being bold or excellent or health or all these, but there's just like a word that is guiding my year. So with some prayer instrumentals, just kind of sit there and just think. Just brain dump. Here you're going to brain dump. Maybe you have like 10 words you love. Write them all here. Or maybe you want to search up what some words mean. Or like wholeness was another one that was very like, oh, I want this to be my word of the year. But God was just like slow. Even like now, God's like telling me, hey, Lucy, slow down. Why are you speaking so fast? Like, who is putting this pressure on you? That's true. I need to, even now, I'm like, I need to slow down. And just savor this moment, you know, and just catch my breath. Wow, God is so good. So I brainstormed some words here, and then you circle the one that kind of just feels like this is my word of the year. If you get it wrong, if you're like, you know what, I think I did it wrong, or there's no right or wrong, you know, God is always speaking to us. The Bible says that my sheep hear my voice. Like I hear his voice, not audibly, but it's like, I know it's you, Lord. I know it's you calling me to slow down. It's a season of slow. I don't have to do a million things at a time. This 2025 year, you're calling me to slow down, because if I don't slow down, I won't be able to discern that specific assignment that you have for me. More is not always better. Less is better. Slow is better. Savoring is better. So that's just me. Then what I did here is I did my top five words. I had slow. Oh my gosh, I can never pronounce this word correctly, so I don't want to say it. My Hispanic accent is gonna come out, and then I'm gonna get made fun of. But I can't never pronounce that right. They always tell me it's not like that. It's like this. Okay. Vulnerable, wholeness, and less. So my word of the year is slow. I kind of did it so pretty. I use the pencil tool here on GoodNotes, but you can also type it out. There's just so many. Oops, I have a thin one here. Anyways, it's different when I'm not on my iPad. That's why I don't recommend doing it on the computer, because then you would just have to type. So that's my word of the year. Why did I choose this word? I'm going to come in here and just be reflective and write down why I chose this word. Now, the process is the same for the verse of the year. So choosing a verse of the year is the same process as the word of the year. What is a verse that is going to just be speaking to you this year? This is the verse you want to memorize for the year. This is the verse that you know that God is just calling you to. Also, these verses and words of the year, they're always something that's challenging you. It's always something that is speaking to your season. So you can kind of brainstorm some verses here. If you're new to Bible verses, I would suggest just going into your word of the year. For example, mine is slow. I want to Google all the Bible verses that have to do with slowing down. Ecclesiastes has some great verses about just slow down. Hey, don't try to there's so many. I can't think off the top of my head, but I haven't found my verse of the year yet. So I'll be brainstorming here. I'll choose my top verses, and then I will write down my verse of the year, put it in a little card, kind of like this. I have this in my desk, and it will just be guiding my year. Now, that doesn't mean that all the other verses in the Bible are not important or they're not guiding my year, obviously, but there's just this one is kind of just pulling me in. And then you will kind of brainstorm, why did you choose this verse? All right, now continuing with year prep. What are you going to start? What are you going to stop? And what are you going to continue? So here I put visiting my grandma. I want to start that. I don't visit her consistently. And I want to take one day off socials. I want to stop giving unsolicited advice. If somebody doesn't ask me for advice, what am I doing? Just giving my opinion all the time. I want to stop that. I don't want to bring that into 2025. What do I want to continue? I want to continue rising before the sun. This was a big goal that I had this year, and I was able to accomplish it by forcing myself to wake up, by scheduling a class early in the morning for the gym. We'll talk about that another time, maybe during goal setting. But kind of sum up for 2025, or whenever you're watching this, maybe you're doing this in 2026, 2027. What do you want to start doing, stop doing, and continue? This one is very important, because so many times when a new year is coming, we're okay, I'm going to do all these new things, but there has to be good things that you implemented in the year before. So be intentional and bring up to your mind, what are you going to continue to do? Okay. Now, truth thoughts I am bringing. Let me have some coffee. So good. Okay. Truth thoughts that I am bringing. So what are some lies that you have believed? Write them here. Don't even overthink it. What are you believing about yourself? I can't. I will never reach my dreams. I will always be lazy. I'll give you my example, real one for this year. Others don't approve of me. That's behind my mind. I wish I could say it wasn't, but I know that it is. I'm it's behind my mind of oh my goodness, others do not approve of me. And I have to, coming with the new year, combat that with a lie. So this is a lie. Combat that with the truth. So the truth thought is, and I always go to the Bible because I can say, I am approved or whatever, but how do I know that's true? The word. So this verse, it says, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were, I wouldn't be serving Christ. So the lie is that others don't approve of me. And the truth is that they don't approve of me, but God approves of me. And that is what matters. I'm not trying to please people. I'm trying to please God. I can't please both. So I'm kind of like connecting this in my brain. There's obviously so many other lies that I'm believing. And I'm excited to come in here and then take some time, Google, search up some verses that have to do with the lie that I am believing. This one, take your time. Don't go fast with it. This one itself holds a lot of power. And this is something you can come back to throughout your year, because you have to understand that the enemy is out there as the father of lies, just trying to always infiltrate our minds. If you do not have a filter in your mind, you're going to believe everything that just lands there. So having this space, and you can even duplicate this page as many times as you want, helps you have a place for you to combat these lies. All right, now we have our life rating reflections. So if you remember, we gave ourselves a rating over on year review. What I recommend you to do, this would be like an add-on, is to give yourself right there what you gave yourself. So I gave myself a 7 here, so I'll probably put a 7. I gave myself, I believe, a 6 here. I don't even remember. And you can kind of put what you gave yourself, the ratings, because now in that other section, it had why, like why did you give that rating? In this section, you are going to, like it says here, jot down action steps that can help improve each area of your life. So for example, health and wellness, what action item am I going to do? Is I'm going to keep Orange Theory. That's something that has been working with me. I'm going to keep going to the doctor. That's because it's a good rating. If it's a bad rating, these are action items like fun. I want to schedule 1 quarterly vacation, not a vacation, but just like a trip somewhere, even if it's a little road trip to the island that we live so close to that, because my fun can be a little low sometimes. Okay, another thing I want to do for friendships, I want to invite one friend a week to go get coffee, or a month, or something like that. Like, what are some action items that can help improve that area of your life? For example, here in finances, I want to have I would put there, either hire an accountant that's going to give me like a run through of everything, or sit down with Jonah and do this monthly. Spiritual, wake up before the sun, read the Bible every day, sit before God every day, share on social media. That's something that God has called me to do. I'm definitely going to put that there because it is part of an action item under that category in my life. So go ahead and jot down some action steps here. I also left you a blank one. One that you're going to see is, I don't know if it's here. No, I took it off. We had a section of living space, because this is also something to review your living space. Like, are you cluttered? Is there a lot of like mess around you? It will impact your life. So it's important to rate that area of your life also. I didn't add it just because the circle was already full, but you can sub it, or you can choose to add it here. Rate your living space. I'm not talking about luxurious things, like do you have expensive things? It's about cleanliness, like how clean is your area? And I'll be honest, I struggled with this. Now I feel like I'm the opposite, but growing up, I was a very messy child. I didn't like to shower. I didn't like to do my hygiene. My room was a mess. And honestly, this impacted my life in such a negative way. So rate your living space. How's your car? How's your restroom? How's your bedroom? You know, do you have bottles everywhere? Like, that is not okay. And it's going to impact the way that you live. So give yourself a rating and then add some action items. You know what? Every Monday I do this. Every Tuesday or figure out a routine that works for you. That is a living spaces one to consider. Okay, then we have our habits at a glance. So what are your bad habits? what is your trigger, what is your plan of action, and your reward. So I love to talk about habits. This whole thing isn't about habits, but everything we do is majority of the things that we do, they're habitual. Like, you don't have to think to do it, it just happens. Now, we have some very good habits and then we have some very bad habits. So here, there's some habits that you don't want to bring into the new year. So I gave like 2 different examples. One is like complaining. That is also a habit. So what's the trigger? I complain. So everything has a cue, a response, and a reward. So the cue is that something bad happens. So then what is the bad habit? I complain. And then what is the reward when I complain? Like, why do I keep doing it? Is because it feels like I've vented or stuff like that. But here what we're doing is we're actually coming against the bad habit. So bad habit is complaining. The trigger is that something bothers me. Plan of action, I want to memorize this verse. Do all things without complaining. Because I'm going to memorize that verse, and when something bothers me, instead of complaining, I'm going to say it out loud. I will do everything without complaining or disputing because I am blameless and I'm a child of God. So that's an action item I have. And my reward will be joy and peace. That's one example. I also put here a bad habit that I have is that every Sunday evening I eat horrible. Like, I will eat the most fried food there is, and I just know that's such a bad habit. It's like already on repeat. Like, I don't even have to think. I know Sunday night equals eating bad. Why? Because I'm with my friends, everybody's eating the same. It just feels like everybody's just having fun. And for some reason, I just want to eat so crazy bad. So my trigger is when I'm with my friends, it seems like I don't care about my goals. I'm just like, everybody's eating like this. I should probably eat like this. So my plan of action is I want to meal plan my Sunday dinner and cook instead. So I'm going to swap that out and be like mindful. Yeah, every time I hang out with my friends, I overeat on this junk food. Like, I need to create a plan of action. And my reward would be that I would not have a migraine. And if I do this consistently for 1 month, I get new shoes. That was just me like brain dumping because I wanted to fill this part out to give you an example. But I will be coming in and kind of going through some other bad habits that I have. For example, waking up and being on my phone. Like, you wake up, you're just like scrolling. That's such a bad habit because you're giving your first hours of your day to social media. I'm being a consumer, and then the rest of the day is a reflection of how you spend your first minutes, your first hour. So my trigger is, I guess, and I haven't thought about this one, but I do plan to add that one there. Actually, let's add it. Waking up and scrolling on my phone. Trigger, I would say, and honestly, I've gotten a lot better at this now that I schedule my gym class in the morning because I don't have time to do that. But my trigger would be being, that's a good one. What's my trigger? Waking up and feeling lazy. Phone being near. So yeah, my alarm, my phone, it's like I already have it in my hand and it's just like automatic. That's when you know it's a bad habit. My plan of action. Ooh, I know this one because I've been implementing it. Keep my phone away from my bed and use another alarm clock as my alarm, not my phone. And schedule a class early in the morning so I can wake up and not have time to scroll. That's fine. Okay. And then my reward would be, I guess, more time, more clarity, more peace. So that is for that. And then obviously I plan to fill this out more. Okay, now let's go into our morning routine. I wish I could show you mine from last year, but I don't want to. Let me see. Pause. Okay, so this is the one from another year. I hope there's nothing bad in here, but it's basically the same. How do you want to feel each morning? Energized, purposeful, calm, not rushed, excitement. Let's go back to this one. So how do you want to feel each morning? And then you plan out the activities that you would like to include in your morning routine. Ice roller, pre-workout, workout, smoothie, breakfast, heart work, devotional time, da-da-da-da. You build a morning routine. you build a morning routine depending on the activities that you want to bring in. I don't do that ice roller thing anymore. But it's like, okay, I want to walk the dogs, or I want to get body movement in. I want to get the Bible. If you can make time for one thing, make time for the Bible. It's going to impact the rest of your day like nothing else, not even like a workout. Joy comes from the Lord, and He wants to just speak to you early in the morning. So plan out the activities you would want to do. So how much time is needed? So let's just say you're going to work out and have some Bible time, maybe have breakfast. Okay, calculate. Okay, what is your new wake up time? Oh, it's because I have to be at work at 8. Okay, you usually wake up at 7 to get ready for work, or 7:30, and you're rushing. That is not a morning routine. I know you're going to sleep less, but if you have a consistent morning routine that's going to add value to your life, trust me, it's worth it to wake up earlier. Now, I don't know what season you are in your life. If you have babies, if you're a new mom, then I don't recommend this, obviously. It just depends what season of life that you are in. But if you can wake up earlier to have a morning routine, do it. What is your new wake up time? What is your new sleep time? Because, okay, you're going to wake up an hour earlier. That means that you have to sleep an hour earlier, because sleep is so important. So kind of set that up for yourself. How will you prep the night before? This is very important because your morning routine starts at night. I tell my husband, like, hey, we're not going to go out to eat late at night with some friends after church. Like, no, I need to be home early in the morning. I need to be home in bed early because I have somewhere to be in the morning, at the feet of Jesus and at the gym. So how will you prep the night before? I'm going to set out my gym clothes. I'm going to take out my Bible and leave it ready in my sofa. I'm going to make myself a bedtime tea so that my body can know that it's time to go to sleep in a couple of minutes, or so on and so forth. Then here you can break it apart. Here I have this one. I think it's like a little bit different now, the way that I do this, because I think this one was from 2022, if I'm not mistaken. It's the one I found. So you kind of can set up your time. You can go by 30-minute increments, 5-minute increments. Maybe your morning routine is going to be 15 minutes. That's okay. We all start somewhere. And then, then you have your routine planning. This is where you can add routines you would want to implement into your life. Morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Let me see if I can show you some of mine. Okay, so I'm not going to show you that because it's very personal, but morning routine, like you can jot down your activities. Afternoon, maybe you go for a walk, you take a lunch break, you do something specific, like I wash the dishes, or if you work from home, try to wash the dishes, or do some sort of thing that I can get away from my computer. Evening routine, maybe you read a book, I don't know what you do, and then your night routine. Jonah and I have this thing where every night before we go to bed, we watch the TikToks that we sent each other. That would be there because it is my night routine. So you can kind of set it up there. And this is kind of the same one, but with timestamps. So if you prefer timestamps, you can use this one. If having both overwhelms you, trash one or the other. For example, morning, 7 a.m., this is what I'm doing. Afternoon, 3 p.m., this is what I'm doing. I'm taking the dogs for a walk at this time. So you're kind of setting up the ideal routines that you would want to implement into your morning, afternoon, and evening. And if you want to add night, you could do that also. Okay, this is the weekly schedule, and this one I can show you an example. So this is an ideal week. Now this is obviously from a while back, but I like to just have a one pager where I see, okay, this is my deep work time. I'm working on content. This was obviously a while back. I have a lunch at 1, very like ideal. Sometimes things come up and it doesn't happen, but it is great to have your weekly schedule. So you can kind of do something like this. You can also choose to color code it. Oh, am I paused? You can also choose to color code it like this or stuff, whatever works for you, but you have a place to do that. I already kind of started mine. I didn't finish it, and I will be color coding things just to kind of see my week at a glance. And you make time for things that matter. If you just let the week go by, oh, whatever happens this week, like, no, like one of the things that adds value to my life is family time. You're going to see a block of family time here. Like, I'm not leaving it up in the air. That's something that adds value to my life. I will plug it into my week. I work also. I know work can be heavy, but you need to plug in things that you love. You can do it. You make time for things that matter to you. Okay. Then we have the ideal week, same thing. I want my weeks to be kind of like that morning one. What do you want your weeks to be like? Purposeful, energized, calm, productive. What will you make time for things that really, I will make time for things that really matter. What are you making time for? Maybe, you love going on afternoon walks. Add that there. You know what? I love spending time with my family. Add that there. I love going on dates. Add that there. Obviously, it's ideal. This is the goal, right? Life happens, and maybe it might not always be like this every week, but you know that you're being intentional. What habits do you want to acquire? I want to cook at home. I want to drink more water. How many ounces? I want to sleep, da 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 da. Okay, write it all here. And then here, I need to fix this right here. This will probably be fixed on your side. Let me pause this. Okay, and then here is where you break it apart. Okay, Monday, this is what I'm doing. Tuesday, you can kind of make yourself a little ideal week here. So now we have our ideal day, and I believe I can also show you this one. I know I've been doing this little wheel. So this was my ideal day, and I did color code everything. I wonder where the colors went. I know I had color code. So 6 to 9 is kind of like my morning routine: Devo, gym, breakfast, deep work, lunch, deep work, and then my free space, and obviously sleep. You can kind of color code as you want, break it apart in hours. I want my days to be, I will make time for things that really matter, daily to do. So you can kind of set that up. This is the same template. I just kind of rearrange the fonts and colors, and just to make it more clean. You can make this look so playful and colorful, or minimal if that's what you like also. So for this one, I do recommend either using the pencil tool or the highlighter tool, and being intentional with what are you doing with this time. That way your life doesn't go by and you're just scrolling your life away, because I believe that's something that I struggle with. Like, if I do not have a plan for the day, I'm just going to end up doing some random things, and the random things include scrolling my life away. I want my days to be intentional and purpose driven. So go ahead and fill this part out. This is a really cool sheet that I personally love. What do you have recurring at a glance? So for example, monthly bills are recurring at a glance. My marriage meetings are recurring at a glance. Actually, we have a deep marriage meeting on monthly, and a quick marriage meeting on weeklies. Here I would put those. Quarterly, we have taxes. We have launches. Daily, what do we have going on daily that I need to be aware of? Trying to think off the top of my head. I would say it would just be my daily content that I have to do, answer DMs, stuff like that. What is just recurring? That way you come to this page and you have everything that you need to be doing at a glance. So monthly, doing my monthly reflections. Weekly, doing my weekly reflections, planning my month, setting up my Notion, planning out content, planning out the launches. Quarterly. So it's being reflective on what is recurring. Then you have your planning ahead. You can either choose to do this here or inside of your planner. This is also inside of your planner. I like to just look at the whole year at a glance, and I mainly use this for work, what I'm going to be launching, what I'm doing overall. Like for example, in November we have our Yamsgiving, something we do at church. I would add that already. I don't have to have a date, but I know that that's a big project for November. So on and so forth. We have our launch, our mid-year launch here. So these are prep months. So then these months I'm not really launching anything big. So it's just a year at a glance. And then you have your faith board. I can show you this one. So this is kind of, I believe this was 2022 or 2023, I think. This was my faith board. I made this on Canva. All I did is I went on Canva and I put presentation, and then I just dragged in a lot of pictures from my camera library, from my photo library, or from Pinterest, and just things that I am praying for. My verse of the year was there. My word of the year, authentic. Just things like this year I was really focusing on eating colorful meals, wearing color, because I was just being authentic with myself and knowing that I loved color, working out together. So just doing your faith board is so fun. Let me show you. I would show you last year's, but if you go through my page, you'll see it there. I love doing this. You can either drag stuff in here, or you can do it on Canva. I recommend doing it on Canva. I don't know why, it's just easier for me that way. And then I print it out also. I put it here, you'll see it multiple places, because I like to just keep it front and center. Let me see if I could show you. Okay, I already showed you an example, that other one, but I'll try to show more in my Instagram. And then after your faith board, we are now towards the end. We are in our goal setting. So here you're going to prioritize what matters. This is kind of like the brain dump, because then we're going to break everything apart. So what is important this new year, or for the new year? Brain dump everything. For me, one of the ones that comes off the top of my head is nutrition. Decluttering my house. What's important for this year? Family time. Planning launches with time. I hate doing things like rushed or last minute. What is important for you this year? What matters? It could be something very, very, very specific or not. Whatever works for you. And then here you can decide to break it down or just add more, because we are going to break it down even further. So here is where we're going to do intentional goal setting. And you'll see these categories are the ones that we keep rating. You'll see the living spaces here. Here you go. So what are your goals? So one of my goals for health is wellness is to lower my visceral fat to blank. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but that is a goal that I have just because my visceral fat is very high. So another goal that I have is I don't want to have menstrual migraines anymore. My goals for my family, I want to do one family vacation a year. I want to do our monthly hangouts with my in-laws, because we hang a lot with my family, but my in-laws not that much. So it's something that I want to be intentional about this year. So go ahead and break your goals. What are things that you want to set intentions for, that you want to be intentional about, or goals that you have? You know what? I want to donate 2 bags of clothes here, or I want to declutter my living room. Work, I want to launch a course. That is something that I really want to do. Spiritual, I want to build a faith community program where we all can just kind of talk to each other. So on and so forth. And then what you're going to do here, this one right here, I actually learned it from I forgot who it is, but if you search up 525 rule, it's going to take you to this page that shows you how to do this exercise. But I'm going to walk you through it. But first, let me just show you mine. By the way, we are launching a Notion also. I did this one on Notion last year, but it's the same information, Notion and the Year Prep Journal. So basically what you do is you type, here I did is type your 25 goals, dreams, or things that are important to you. Just let your brain go crazy here. So here I did them create content, start a physical shop, learn ad marketing, start a book club. I hope there's something personal in here. And just kind of boom, boom, boom until you get to 25 things that are important, dreams, goals. And then it's called 525 because after you do that, you are going to choose the 5 that are most important. And you are going to go all in with those 5 and ignore the other 20. Like, you're not going to work on the 20, the other that are left whenever you have time. Like, no, you're going to zone in on 5. Because sometimes we're just so divided on everything we want to accomplish that we don't accomplish anything because there's so much to do. So after I wrote everything down here, I chose my 5. Be healthy and whole, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. That's my number 1. Number 2, create vertical content. Just kind of sharing content, I guess. Designing digital products, planning out the coffee shop, and resetting the vision for Creating with Lucy and Create Her Work. I had my runner up, which was physical products. And instead of focusing, it's because I want to do a book club at church. I want to learn ad marketing. I want to cook healthy meals. I want to start a podcast. Like, those are all great, but I need a laser focus on these 5. That is how you zone in, and that is kind of the template we have going on over here. So 525 rule, brain dump. I want to launch courses. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Write them all down up to 25. And then what are your top 5? And then you're going to have to ignore the rest. Like, it's because I really wanted to do this. Okay, it's not in your top 5. You're not going to give attention to it until you work on this first. And if you actually go to if you just search on Google 525 rule, there's a bunch of videos and exercises on how people do this. I forgot who was the one who invented this kind of method, but it has worked wonders for me, and I hope it works wonders for you also. Then here you're going to break down the 5 goals that you choose. So for example, one of mine is I want to create content for my social media, weekly content. Why does it matter? Because I believe God gave me a platform to share, to inspire, and to encourage others. Strategy, I'm going to take one day out of the month to brainstorm content. I'm going to take one day out of the week to record the content. And then I'm going to schedule all my content for the month, or kind of create a strategy. So this is, honestly, these two right here are just everything for me when it comes to setting up for the new year. Like the goal setting, after I did this method, like I can honestly say yes, 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 and yes. And I'm already here on the runner-up, yes. So now I get to focus on another 5, you know? And it's like, okay, I want to, let's just say, I want to learn ad marketing and start ads. Like maybe that is something that is very important for me this year. And it's like, okay, why does it matter? Because I could have the best product. I could be selling amazing things that have so much value, but if nobody knows about them, then I'm not marketing correctly, because I honestly don't do ads. I don't know how ads work that much. That's why I want to learn it. Okay, that's my strategy. Am I going to hire someone? Am I going to learn it? Am I going to go on Skillshare, YouTube? I'm going to run 1 ad a month, or da-da-da-da-da. You break it apart. Maybe your goal is, you know what? I need to start moving my body. Why? Because moving your body actually impacts every other area of your life. Okay, what is your strategy? I'm going to go on morning walks. I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to ask my friend to keep me accountable. Da-da-da-da-da. You're going to zone in on that. Forget about you starting a blog. Focus on, you know what? I want to start moving my body. So I love this because I struggle with this, because I have so many ideas and I want to do a little bit over here and a little bit over there and a little bit over there. Just focus on 5. Focus on 5, and then you'll be able to move, get the ball rolling, like, and it's going to be easier to accomplish like the other things. So here I have all the 5 just breakdown at a glance, but if you like to just goal plan even deeper, then this is 1 page per goal. You just get 1, but you can duplicate this as many times as you want. So let's just say the goal, I'm going to do health and wellness. What is the goal? Why does it matter? Who or what is needed? For example, my husband is needed here because I had a goal of I need to be consistent at the gym and I need accountability. So yes, he is needed. Reward, or what does success look like? Success looks like being full of energy, showing up as myself, not feeling like I'm behind because I'm not a certain weight, but I just feel good because I move my body. And then here's where you can break down the action steps. And then we are heading towards the end. Oh my gosh, this is about to be an hour, but these are our reflections. So the reflections will be throughout the year. You have a monthly reflections, you have a weekly reflections, and then quarterly reflections, and then these are quarterly also. Or any time that you're like, you know what, I need a refresh. Where am I? And I like that they're side by side because you can see if you went up or down in one area of your life. So the monthly reflections, these are also included in your planner. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them on my planner or here. I'm still like debating. But basically at the end of your month, you're going to go through your grows and your glows. Areas of improvement, things that went really well this month. What is the grow that needs the most attention? So after you look at everything that was a grow, maybe you're like eating out and wasting too much money and sleeping late and binging Netflix and da-da-da-da-da. Circle one, just one that needs the most attention. Like which one, if it became a glow, which grow would have the biggest impact on your life? So it's just like, which one impacts you the most, you know? So circle that one. And then what is your plan of action so that next month it could be on this side, the glow? So maybe it feels so good because I've had grows turn into glows and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's possible. You know, one of my grows was like that. Waking up late. Like I'm always waking up late. I'm always feeling behind. This month I didn't get a lot done because I'm waking up late. Okay. How can I make this a glow? Okay, I'm going to schedule a class early in the morning. And then this month I can say it's a glow. And that grow was impacting everything else because I felt behind. I felt rushed. I felt, you know, just like I didn't have energy because I was not prioritizing my health. It just had so many secondary effects. So you're going to create a quick plan of action. I know this looks weird, but this is your target 3 of the month. 3 things that you're focusing on the month. For example, maybe you're planning a birthday party. That's important for the month. Write it in there. What 3 things are the most important for the month? Maybe you can even include one of your goals here. Declutter my closet. Okay, the little legs is like a table. I used to be a teacher, so my brain just works like this. So it's like, okay, this is what you want to focus on. Okay, what are your evidence? Like I would tell my students, okay, this is what you're saying. Like this is your, oh my God, I blanked out on what I would call it. But I would say this is your evidence or how you're going to do it. So your tabletop. So this is the goal. Okay, I want to plan a birthday party. Okay, what do you need to do to plan that birthday party? Okay, I need to look at venues, make the invitations, and I need to make the Pinterest board. So you break it apart even more here. Like this is the main thing. This is where it's breaking apart. I like to do little check boxes here. It's hard to do it on the computer. And then you kind of like, even though planning a party is like important, that requires like things to do in between. So maybe you want to this month, like for example, I need to launch my physical products. Okay, I need to take photos, I need to update the website, and I need to buy all the shipping materials. So I would kind of break that down here. Now, the reason why I have it here is because these are my 3 things that are the most important in the month. All right, same thing. It's so hard when you're divided and you have a lot going on. Then when you have 3 things to focus on, it's just like easier to kind of get things done. Then you have your truth. You have your truth thought of the month. I like to just make one verse, my verse of the month, or my truth. Like I am alive in Christ. Like I am loved by God. I am seated in high places with Christ. Like things that is just going to keep me going for the month. Or it can even be your word of the year, verse of the year, just something that you're believing in for that month. And then you have blank space for whatever you want to use. Oh my goodness. Then you have your weekly reflections. Trust me, when you do these every week, it will impact the growth that you have towards your goal. Remember, it's so important to be reflective. Don't let life just happen to you. Be proactive about it. Show up, reflect what worked, what didn't. Grows and glows. I actually got this from when I was a teacher. We used to do grows and glows. So grows of the week, glows of the week, grow that needs the most attention. What's the plan of action? So it's even like micro broken from the monthly to the weekly. You're going to see results if you do this every week. Every Sunday, I sit down, grab a coffee. This takes me like 10 minutes. Rate the week. Okay, I'm going to give myself up to here. Maybe you can use a highlighter. Why? Okay, you know what? I didn't have the best week. I was on my days. You know, I got a migraine, or I had a really great week. What is the goal that you are working towards? You can go back to your 5 goals. Which one is the one that you're just kind of like running towards? What is your biggest win of the week? It's so important for you to celebrate. Because if you are not able to celebrate like the little things that you're accomplishing, like you won't really enjoy the process. You'll always be like, man, I'm not there. I'm not there. Celebrate where you are. Like, okay, maybe you're not going to the gym every day, but you know what? You woke up 5 minutes earlier to sit before God and have some prayer time. And then what are you looking forward to for that week? I believe strongly in writing this in, because I know that life can get hard, and I know that sometimes so many things can get thrown our way, and we can see things with a perspective of like, I have to go to work, I have to do that, I have to do this. But it's like, what are you looking forward to? You know what? I'm looking forward to getting lunch with my mom. I'm looking forward to catch up over coffee with a friend. I'm looking forward to taking my dogs on an afternoon walk and enjoying the sunset. Be intentional. And then we have our quarterly reflections. We do this obviously after every quarter. Reflections, you can kind of just journal here, like this quarter was really nice, or you know what, my favorite memories of the quarter. You kind of reflect on your quarter here. Start, stop, and continue. What do you want to start, stop, and continue for your next quarter? And then here you can plan in your next 3 months. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I like to just put them here and then go back to my year at a glance that we just saw and just plug in like priorities of the month, like things that are happening that month. Then last one is our, I believe that is our last one, is our rate it. And this one, you can come and be in this section every month, every day, every other day. That's too much. I probably would suggest doing it quarterly. So you do actually have space for quarterly, and you can duplicate as many times. And it's like, okay, rate your health and wellness. spiritual, da 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 da. You even have space for your own, or you can highlight, white out these and put your own, and then kind of reflect. Because like I said, if you are not reflecting, then you are just letting life happen to you. So if my spiritual went from like a 3 to like a 2, like I need to figure out why. Like what did I stop doing? What did I start doing? Like who did I start hanging out with? Like no. Like this isn't the direction that God was placing in my heart. Like, so it's about being reflective and coming here at least once a quarter or whenever feels right for you, and being reflective on your plans, your goals. And then the cool part about goal setting, which I'm kind of almost already done. So the cool part about goal setting is once you have this, your top 5 I was pointing, you can plug that into your planner. Let me see if I can show you a little bit about my planner. Okay, this is my current planner. I'm not showing you any of the new planners yet, but you'll see, like I do this every month. So this is November. Let me go to October. Oh, it froze on me. October. I have my little goals. So everything that I'm like doing in the year prep and reflecting, I plug it into my planner, and then I plug it into my month. I plug it into my weeks. I hope I don't show anything that's not supposed to be seen. And then I even plug it into my days. All right. I don't want to show you too much because there's some personal things in here. So it's not just about, okay, I already did everything. Okay, what do you do with that information? You plug it into your weeks, to your days, to your month. You go in here to your year at a glance and you kind of plug things in. You keep yourself accountable, but then you keep coming back to your year prep because you keep coming back. And that's what I love about this first page. This is the year 2 what? Like, what is it the year 2? For me, it's to live slowly. You could put one of your favorite goals there. You could put your theme of the year, your word of the year. And it's so good to have clarity because I wish I would have had this like a long time ago. Like I said, I started doing this in 2018, and then I kind of created like my own little system from there. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I did printables and I shared them with you all. But it just feels so good to have clarity for the year. I am not just letting life happen to me. I am partnering with God, and I'm saying, God, let's do this. Like, no, not everything is going to go as planned, but at least I have a plan. And it's like, Lord, if you want to change all this up, do it. That's why the importance of praying first and surrendering everything that we're doing to God, because His ways are so much better. His thoughts are not our thoughts, and His ways always end up being more fulfilling to us. Last thing, I need to show you this. Okay, this is my 2021 planner, and I actually used to have the year prep inside the planner, and now I separated it. These are just some ideas. I hope there's nothing that you shouldn't be looking at there, but this is real, okay? And then let me show you. Oh, I can't show you that one. So what I'm talking about when it comes to just being intentional here. So I wrote, this is 2021. I've been wanting to do courses in 2021. So I talked about our home. Like we had a dream of doing a home. Having a baby, that's still, up in the air because God is taking His time on that. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be showing you some of this stuff. But anyways, it's about our coffee shop and our warehouse and our home. And it's like these things are coming to life. And I'm not saying they're coming to life because I manifested. I don't believe in that. I believe in surrendering to God, but also partnering with Him. Like, God, like you are placing these ideas in my heart for a reason. You are placing, like, I want to be intentional with my time, with my resources, with my energy. And I want to show up for the life that you have for me. Like I said, not everything goes as planned, but there is just peace in having clarity. So that kind of sums up our year prep. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you for hanging out with me for an hour to go through this together. I'm still going to take my time and go through every single page. If this takes you a while, good. Don't rush through it. If you're not annoyed and not in the mood, don't even do it. Take your time. Thank you all. God bless you. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye.